Hello there. Welcome to this video connecting ESP8266 to Thingworx platform over Wi-Fi. In this video, first thing we're going to do is create an app key in the Thingworx platform. This is a way of authentication for your edge device to connect to the platform. Then I'm going to take you through some assets in the Thingworx platform and some properties which we are going to be updating. Then I'll take you to the code which we're going to be using and running on your edge device. In this case, I'm going to be using a Node MCU, and this is very similar to your Adafruit Huzza, and you can run the exact same code on both the devices. And then finally, we'll push static values from your edge device, which is your Node MCU in this case, to the Thingworx platform. All right, let's get started now. So this is the landing page of my Thingworx Composer, and you need to create an app key. So that can be found in the security tab right about here, and then you go down and find application keys. You click on it. When you do that, it's going to bring up all the existing application keys. Let's go ahead and create a new one. I want to say new. Now give it a name just like anything else. I want to say app key 4, and you need to associate this with the user. So in this case, administrator is the only user. So go ahead and say admin or AD, whatever you like, and select the user. Now for the platform to generate the key, you need to save the information. Now once you save it, you see that the key is printed for you. So this is the key which you need to authenticate on the platform. Perfect. Now let's go back to my things. I have a thing called T2, and this has 3 properties very similar to the environment strobe thing which we created. So let me take you to the properties here. So these are the 3 properties we have belonging to T2. So I have a temp, then I have a sensor, and then I have a test sensor. We are going to be updating these 2 properties, which is sensor and test sensor, from your edge device. All right, now let's get started on the code, and I will walk you through the code before we actually run it. So this is the code which we're going to be using. This code has 3 distinct areas. One is the area before the void setup, we have the void setup, and we have the void loop area. The main difference between the void loop and void setup is setup is done one time, that is this code runs one time, and the void loop runs forever. All right, perfect. Now first thing is we are including some libraries. So first library is the Wi-Fi library, second library is the HTTP client library. Then I have information for the SSID and password. This is basically for your Wi-Fi. The SSID is your name of the Wi-Fi which you want to connect, and of course your password. Then to connect to this Thingworx server, you need this information, which is the server, and this is for me going to be HTTP / this information here. For you it may be changing, so for that let me take you to the platform and show you where to find this. So right about here you see the name of the server, so this can be different for you obviously. The app key is what I just showed you, so you can just copy and paste it here. So that's about the server information. Next we're going to be populating the information about the things and properties. So for me, I have set of variables. First is thing name, which is basically your thing. Then we have a service name. Don't worry about it, we're not going to use in this specific test run. Then we have the name of the 2 properties, which is property 1, property 2. Property 1 is sensor, property 2 is test sensor. Then in the void setup, you are initializing the Wi-Fi. In the void loop, first we're going to be checking if the Wi-Fi status is connected. If it is connected, then you're going to be creating an object of the class, and then you're going to be pushing a put message to the server. And these are the 2 messages which you're pushing along with the header information. One is I am pushing the property value of sensor to be 12, a static value, and a property of the test sensor right about here to 13. So these are the 2 values which I'm pushing to the server. These 2 are in JSON format, and these are the different functions we're using to pass the information about the header as a put request. Now all this information about the HTTP client, about the different functions, about the different verbs and REST calls are going to be discussed in the more advanced courses. Alright, perfect. Now what are the changes you need to make for this code to run for you? First, you need to change your SSID and password. You gotta give your own server's name, your own API key. Now if you're not changing the thing name and the property values, then you can keep the same. If you're gonna use another thing name, then you have to change it here. So don't change the name of the character, just change the value. So for example, if your thing name is gonna be something like hi, then just put hi here. That's about it. I want to change it back to T2. And then if you have your property values different from sensor and test sensor, then obviously you have to change it in this area. Now you also have to change the name of the properties in 2 more locations. When you come down in the void loop, this is where you're going to change it. So you're going to change this sensor to whatever your property value is, and you're going to change the test sensor to whatever property value you have. Alright, perfect. Now I'm going to quickly show you the current property value for these 2 properties on the Thingworx platform. Now if you take a look at the current value of the sensor and test sensor property on the platform, it's 12 and 13 respectively. Now let's go back and change these values and update it. Now let's make these values something else. So I'm going to make sensor as 45 and test sensor as 55. So now we're going to be pushing these 2 static values to the server. So let's go ahead and compile this and run this code. First I want to connect my Node MCU to the computer. There you go. Alright, now let's go ahead and compile and run it. I want to go say upload. Now before you run it, make sure that your board is selected to Node MCU. So go ahead and select it if it's already not, and make sure that your COM is selected. Perfect. This takes a quick second if you're doing it for the first time. If this is your 3rd or 4th time, then it happens a little bit faster. Alright, as you see, it's writing to the flash now. Looks good, no errors, and the writing to the flash was also successful. So go ahead and open your serials, and now it's going to print out all the messages. First it's trying to connect your Wi-Fi. It's connected, then it's printing out whatever we printed to the serial. So first we're printing the load, which is your property and the value, and then I'm printing the URL which was used to send the put message. Now notice that there is no information which is printed here from the server, so that means it's a good thing. Now if you had something going wrong, then the server would send back information saying what was going wrong. It is not very elaborate, but it sends back a code and some information. Alright, so we need to be checking this on the platform real quick. So we're going to be seeing sensor value is 45 and test sensor value to be 55. Let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm on the composer, and if you see that the values are 12 and 13, don't worry about it, just go ahead and hit refresh, and there you go. Now it's 45 and 55. Obviously now this will not change until you actually go back to the code, change it, compile it, run it again, because these are static values. Alright, congratulations. If you come this far, it's a great achievement. You can use this information and you can build upon it, and you can take your IoT journey ahead. In the next video, we're gonna set up and test the temperature and humidity sensor.